So if we go back to the regular candlestick chart and we go down to the 1 minute time frame, what you're looking for is for the market to give you confirmation. So let's quickly break this down. As you can see over here, let's clear this up. As you can see over here, this was the price action you saw that price actually rejected from, right? So it was here in this region that we saw aggressive sellers trying to drive the price down. But of course they failed, right? We can see that via the footprint charts. They failed in this region. We see aggressive sellers over here. And what's even more interesting, we have a green candle, but we have a huge seller over here. The market is moving up despite aggressive sellers being present. So when you see aggressive sellers being present, you want to think of it as who is being rewarded and who is failing, who is trapped, who is struggling, right? In this case, the sellers are struggling because you see a huge seller over here, but the market is rejecting off a fair value gap, a bullish fair value gap, heading higher despite sellers being present. So when sellers are present, when aggressive sellers are present, but they're not rewarded, it means they're being absorbed by passive buyers, right? That's what's very important to understand. Now from here, we look at the rejection over here in this candle. What's even more interesting is that if we look at this rejection candle over here, look at how perfectly price rejects off this level. There's two things I want you to take away from this, right? Notice how we have a lot of aggressive selling over here, a lot of aggressive selling over here, but none of them were rewarded, right? What's super interesting that we had an aggressive seller over here, very, very red, dark red delta. And we also had an aggressive buyer at the exact same price. So this is obviously Bitcoin futures. 955, right? 95555, right? This is the price where there were aggressive buyers and aggressive sellers. But you want to look at who's being rewarded. So we've come into a bullish fair value gap, right? Notice the sellers at the bottom. These sellers have not been rewarded, which means that sellers are no longer in control. Sellers are aggressive, but they're not in control. This is the most important thing you need to understand, right? Often to see who's in control and therefore see who's buying and selling, you want to ask yourself, who is being aggressive? Who's failing, right? Aggressive failures is what you're looking for. You are looking for the red delta to be absorbed. You're looking for red delta in this case to not be rewarded. And that's what you see over here because we see aggressive sellers be taken over by aggressive buyers. And we can see lots of sellers over here which rejected. We also see sellers and sellers, but the market is ripping higher and higher. So let me go back to regular